Hello. Are you retarded? Do you seek to receive the highest value for the least amount of effort? If you have said yes to any of these questions, I do recommend you continue watching this video because if you are perhaps questionably mentally disabled and still want to make the most of your Albion focus, here's a pretty good guide on how to do that for the lazy, the indolent, and the downright maladjusted. You may be wondering, what is it that we can do that is so low effort and so easy? Well, I'm going to be showing you how I made a crafting alt in basically 1 hour and how it generates me 3 million to 4 million silver per day with, I kind of lied to you, there's a little bit of effort, but I'm just going to assume that you actually play the game more than 1 hour a day. I'm going to make a fair attempt to be rather concise in my explanations due to the reasonable assumption that the person watching this has dopamine receptors beyond any hope of recovery and probably absolutely bottomed out serotonin. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm starting with a fresh character. Now I kind of scammed you again. This character does have 1,000 learning points because I bought premium on it like 4 years ago. I never used it actually. So what you're going to need in the step-by-step is you're going to need a fresh account. You're going to need at least like 800 learning points. Ideally, if you really want to just cheese your way through, you can work with about, like 1,250 learning points. Now I'm going to assume that because you're watching this video in English and you can understand it, I hope so, that you are capable of just swiping like 40 bucks if you really just want to skip the line, because there's not really many guides on the internet about how to do that. You kind of just assume that you're broke as fucking Simflavella and you're gonna have to grind 7,000 hours mining ore in the yellow zone. You don't actually have to do that. You can just skip a lot of these steps very easily. I'm going to show you how I do it in the video, and I'm going to tell you how you can copy it. Now, if you copy the exact item I'm crafting, I will find you, and I'll be quite sad because you'll basically ruin my niche. So please don't do that. Thank you. I forgot to mention you're also going to want at least like 50 million silver. Maybe 40 million if you get lucky. You don't even actually need premium active, you just need it in general. So if you're a player who has an alt account that had premium before, has some learning points you don't know what to do with, this is a really good example because this is the exact situation I was in. But you could also do this on a new account for a new player, but you do need that 40 million silver. If you just want to swipe 50 bucks, just do it. Like, the returns are consistent and you'll be fine, and it's a worthwhile long-term investment. If you have it from playing the game a lot, this is a good way to use it instead of emptying it in some ZVZ guild. Basically what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to, I don't even need to say it, just level up your crafting at least tier 4. I mean, I put it in the video, but I mean, does it really need to be said? Once you're tier 4, just find any single niche item that has a negative or like even return rate that's acceptable. In this video I craft 4.3, I think it's cleric sandals, simply because cleric sandals I saw the resources and return rate were basically equal. So I was able to craft like 7 million silver in cleric robes with no focus, and I was able to go ahead and skip pretty much all the way to tier 7, tier 6. And this is pretty massive. This is what kind of warrants the video because a lot of you guys kind of just use your 30,000 focus every single day, like inch by inch for months on end until you get to like tier 8. You basically claw your way to high spec so slowly that it takes weeks upon weeks to actually see high return rates in crafting because you're just clawing your way up, breaking even or making a little bit of money, doing 5.1, 5.2. You can actually just freaking spend like 20 mil on 4.3 cloth or whatever your material is, find something that breaks even, and just skip the line of like weeks upon weeks of waiting. And that's literally it. That's the secret. just skip focus all the way, watch what I'm doing in the video, and you'll see that I'm able to skip from 0 spec, 0 crafting, all the way to almost 80 spec in crafting. I just found a specific item that was breaking even that day. It wasn't even a crafting day for that item, by the way, so it's not even like a hidden thing. It genuinely just broke even. Now, I really wanted to maximize my profit in this video, right? Because you might be thinking, there's no way you can level up a crafting alt from 0 and actually make money on it. You have to break at some point as an investment. It's actually not true in the slightest. The reason that craft these really high tier items, you know, because nothing's good if you can't sell it, is because I just go to the black market. Now, at the end of the video, I'm going to make a quick summary of everything you need to do in order. For those who are incapable of active listening or long-term retention, which I also am incapable of doing. So for your own sake, for a fellow brain-rotted retard, I will be making a list at the end for you. But basically, I transferred to Carleon. So think about the numbers right now. On this alt, I generated about $3 million, 3 million silver in value, and that's just leveling it up. I had no intention of making profit. I have a bunch of 8.1 fiber from my friend who is a refiner, and we kind of just share this chest to like make the most money together. So he dumped in 23 mil. I was able to generate an extra few mil from that, and then if you look at the numbers in the black market, that's where the real money is, really. I mean, I'm never gonna sell 76.3 shoes in a reasonable amount of time. By going to the black market, instead of breaking even, I actually make something like what? I think I make like an extra 8 million silver. You know, so in just leveling up this alt, I almost made like 12 million silver because I'm posting this video quite a while after everything sold, and I spent about 25 million silver, I think, in materials, and I returned back about 50 million silver. So just in leveling up the alt, I go into Carleon, I was able to almost pay the premium on the alt. Now, it may sound like this is kind of too good to be true, but I assure you, it generally isn't. Most players don't do this. The population density that actually knows how to make the most out of crafting is very small. I also have a tier 8 island too, so I fill journals myself, and then I send some of the materials to a refiner, and he refines it further, and his refined extra value goes into me crafting it again, into the cycle where I'm essentially creating free resources from journals. Journals are creating free resources through refining, and we're just basically at a certain point generating infinite free value without ever really putting anything back in at a certain point. So you know, you can actually quite easily get, like, I would say like 100 million silver in like 2 months if you just play like this. I mean, the island isn't really necessary, quite honestly. It's just a nice touch to add more money. For the especially eagle-eyed viewer, you may have noticed that I'm making cloth shoes in Fort Sterling instead of in Bridgewatch, which means that in this video, not only did I use no focus, I also had no return rate. This is basically the same as crafting like in like a guild island or something. I had 0 return rate. If I decided to go to Bridgewatch for this, I could have actually made a lot of money. Maybe like an extra 5 million silver for the craft. Like the fact that I was making, with no focus, 1 million silver per craft in a city that doesn't give you a bonus shows you that you don't actually need focus as like the end all be all for your profits. Now you might be asking, why did I why did I do that? It's because I'm a fucking moron and I totally forgot that cloth sandals are not actually in Fort Sterling. That's literally the reason. I just fucking forgot that that was the case. Yeah. But it doesn't matter that much, honestly, because I was planning on breaking even. But it's just a nice coincidence that my stupidity had no major consequences. But yeah, you can just not even worry about that. So after you get your crafting specs, you can buy premium and make it worth it. But yeah, keep that in mind. I had no bonus whatsoever, not a crafting day, no bonus in the city. It was absolutely as stupid as it looks. That's it. You can make way more money than I did. You can make, if you really want to go to the correct city, you can make probably like almost double what I did. I know everyone likes the flashy edits and the funny meme noises, but I'm not very good at editing videos. I am also rather monotone, so what they can rebrand this as low stimulation, high information content for the a small respite from your dopamine receptors frying endlessly to fucking oblivion. But in summation, what you're gonna need is just a fresh account. You're gonna need about 50 million silver. This is the biggest one. This is the biggest hurdle. You're gonna need like 50 million silver. You're gonna need learning points, like 1,000. Now, strictly speaking, if you don't have any learning points, you don't really need them, to be honest with you. This will take a lot longer, and you have to do this. You'll need a lot more silver, right? Because you're gonna have to go through a lot of fame. So I was able to finish this all with like 30 million silver, basically. But you know, if you don't have any learning points, you're gonna have to make a lot more items. So it's gonna probably be like almost 200 million silver, which is ridiculous. So you know, you're gonna want those learning points if you can. So one, fresh accounts. Two, 50 million silver. Three, 1,000 learning points is good. 1,500 would be amazing. 800, 700. The only thing that matters is that the less you have, the more money you have to spend. So, and then let's see. After that, you need to do a little bit of research because, you know, the day that I recorded this, these cleric sandals no longer break even when crafting. So, because they no longer break even, I would have lost millions upon millions doing this instead of just breaking even and then making a lot of money in the black market. You're going to need to do a little bit of research about a specific item that you think is going to break even. That's kind of the longest amount of effort on your part. And then you're just going to craft endlessly. The more money you put in, the quicker it is. And then you end by going to the black market and becoming rich. Black market always buys everything. Sometimes it just takes a long period of time, but it will buy everything. You can make about pre-black market 3 to 4 mil, post black market usually about 10 mil if you're very lucky, more like 6 or even 7 million silver. So that's pretty much it. Don't ever fucking message me in game. I despise all of you. Please, please, please stop playing this horrible video game.